There we go. Let's see what's up on this intro.
It's not letting me play it because it says no upgrade.
Ah, you kidding me? Well,
He
share it with
upstairs
me
eating.
again.
Yeah, he upstairs eating the chicken sandwich, hiding it.
I need under the bed.
Let me see if I can find where you sent it before.
They was like, "Which one you want?" He's like, "Give me grilled. It keep longer."
Under the bed. Oh my goodness.
Said it keep longer. Man had an anti-perishable grilled chicken
Hey
sandwich.
man, I'm just saying, man. I used to. Hey man, when one of my mentors was in the Nation of Islam, I used to hide the Quran from my Christian family. So that's what he do. He'd be hiding chicken from the vegans. Like Farrakhan told him to eat pollo. You know what I'm
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
Oh shit. Okay, he's shit.
Well, let's just hit it. All right.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
We about to hop in. Hold on, give me a second to
I love the fact how we do this.
you like that, huh?
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, it's still very dark. It doesn't matter. I did, but it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Rob, aka Skinny Black, host of Skinny Black's Lounge. And we have our introductions, and below me.
I'm not responding to that.
I mean, below my photo,
Thank
at
you.
the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. JT, the period is silent. Hi, mom. Pause.
And diagonally, that way.
Diagonally. Is that me?
Yeah.
Hey. Cameo, spread love enthusiast. What's happening?
Okay. And of course, we got in the house, the Ghost of Lebo, and Dio on the boards on the ones and twos. So, like we always do about this time, suck a shit.
All right. Well, I was thinking.
Uh-oh.
There's a thin line between useful and useless. So two things that are extreme: useful and useless. All right. So two things that come to mind is toilet paper and condoms. Extremely useful, but useless after that first time. So I was thinking about some things that are pretty much useless that we have in society.
Okay, speak on it.
So I live in LA. One of the most useless things in Los Angeles is the weatherman. It is between 70 and 75 degrees, 320 to 330 days a year here.
Yes.
Every day if you wake up, people are like, it's going to be 73 in LA, go Dodgers.
Right. But you need somebody to say partly cloudy.
When it's trickling outside, they be like, Storm Watch 2025. I be like, we expected 1/4 of an inch of rain.
Right.
And it got me to thinking,
Uh-oh.
you need to know what region your weatherman is from. See, I was thinking when I became a father in college. My oldest is 28, soon to be married in about a year and a half. And I had an uncle sit me down who was divorced and had been through stuff, and he was schooling me on the child support system because I wasn't married yet. I was in college. He gave me all the game, right? See, he knew I was about to be on the episode of Ice Road Truckers, and he was telling me about the snow and the black ice on the streets of Utah. I don't know if you ever seen the Ice Road Truckers, the black ice, but you know your car, your truck can slide right across it if you don't understand. See, my weatherman was for the snow.
Right.
Then I was married and I was contemplating asking for my divorce. And it just so happened that this same uncle who was divorced set me down. And it was a year before it even went down. He was like, "You can't do it right now. It's not the weather for that because a hurricane about to pass. And you got to evacuate when it gets a little closer to the hurricane." See, that weatherman had been down south in New Orleans, and he got me out of there 2 weeks before Katrina.
Nice.
Or else I'd have been sitting on the roof hoping.
And praying.
I had a good weatherman. See, it's a lot of folks out here that's thinking they talking to the weatherman, but they really talking to a storm chaser or a storm causer.
Bars.
I'm just saying, if you don't know what region your weatherman is from, you on some sucker shit.
Yes.
Once again,
well
I
done.
did not see that coming. Hey,
well done.
That was dope. That was dope. Thank you, brother.
Man, I gotta take an inventory of the weatherman around here, man.
But hey, for real. So yeah, let's get into it. Hey, we all need good weathermen in our lives. Thank you that Jay, you had a good one to navigate you through that storm or before the storm. So Cam, I'm gonna play this clip. Because you sent it to me.
Yes.
So
it's not even just about the sex, but one of his deepest emotions.
Let's start over.
One of the man's deepest emotional needs is to feel that his wife desires him. See, it's not even just about the sex, but one of his deepest emotional needs is to feel that his wife desires him. Some of us in a situation, your husband feel like you don't desire me as a man. When you reject me, I feel like you don't desire me. Y'all, that's dangerous. That's dangerous to where what is it like you don't like me? And if he sees that his wife desires him, listen, when he sees his wife desires him, it gives him a sense of well-being in all other areas of his life. It gives him confidence. He walk with swagger. He different. He go to work. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? I see you over there, baby. Hey, that's what's up, boy. Come here, baby. Hey, I see you, baby. I see you. But when he ain't getting none, his confidence low. He feeling some kind of way. And Freaky Francis know a dude that ain't getting none. Some sensors go off in him. She dope. He just got something about himself. He lack confidence. He feeling unloved. He feeling unliked. He feeling undesired, and that's not healthy. And when you finally do, don't just do it to get it over with. You know, let them know I desire you.
Whew, that's a heavy clip, brother.
Yeah.
It's so much to unpack in there, but a lot of it that I do agree with. In your committed relationship, feeling desired by your partner. I mean, off my own personal experience, I be on high. And normally I'm on high in life, period, but I'm really on high when my woman overtly expresses her desire for me. Um, I know we talked about it a little bit, B. I think it comes down to, well, let's just do this for the people checking us out. In your lifetime, overtly, has your woman consistently shown you she desires you?
Consistently,
Consistently.
and
And that's for
my
all of them.
woman.
Within just in
Because
our
you said
lifetime, what we've dealt with. Yeah.
you said two different things, right? So you said my woman, and then you said consistently.
Yes.
Because there's been, I think we talked about, there's been women that ain't been our women that are
You're
consistent.
there. Yes. Agreed. Like, and it's something there, and I'm not sure what it is. I've asked women over time. They'll tell you, no, man, I rock with my guy. I'm like, yeah, but or does he feel like you rocking with him?
Mm,
Right? Because
and how would she know he feels that way?
well, one, you got to, because desire is a nuance. There's some levity here, right? Um, there's the overt, but I wouldn't ask if I don't desire you because I'm not interested in knowing.
Mm,
People know what they showing you. They know what they get, right? So from a desire standpoint, I think us as men, we've contributed to the behavior that we receive. I'm not saying it's our fault, but there's some contributions because
Speak on that. So, in what way? Go ahead.
meaning like at times for the women, it seems like that the desire is conditional or optional, right?
Mm,
Um, whereas your dutiful things and responsibilities as a man, they're not optional. So you're going to keep showing up, whether that's coming back that way or not, right? And that's a good
mm,
thing. I think we as men are great at that. Over the last 30 years, consequently, what I've learned is I've taught that they're going to get whether they're giving or not. So when I say we've contributed to it, it's like dealing with kids. They can cry and whine. You're like, man, you ain't getting that. You ain't gonna do that. And then before you know what, to shut them up, you give them McDonald's. So they won. So there was no consequences to their
mm,
action and behavior, right? So when I speak, that's the place I'm coming from in terms of we've contributed because the men just keep showing up. We'll just keep showing up in their sitcoms, in movies, and everybody laughs when you say, "Oh man, I ain't got nothing in a while." Man, I gotta hurry up and get home. My old lady tonight say, like it's so rare that we just understand it's just gonna be rare, um, and it just can't be that way. So it got me to thinking, and
uh-oh.
I had this. I know, right. Hey, when I start thinking, the earth start trembling, right? And so I had this conversation with my homegirl. She's telling me about her and her dude and some problems, and I asked her, like, do you want to be committed? You're already in a committed relationship, but do you want to be committed? She told me that was a stupid question.
Hmm.
And why did I ask her that question is what she said. I said, well, if he's complaining about you not giving him sex, aren't you committed to do so? So the question comes to, and this is for us, JT, this is where we at. I think we got to ask, what is it that you want to commit to? What are you willing to commit to? Right? As a man, am I willing to commit to your rent, to your bills, to your hair, your nails, to your loyalty, to your protect, whatever that is, right? Um, when you want sex from me, I'm committed to doing that. Because once we're in a committed relationship, there's a lot of things that I can go do to curate a great happiness for myself, right? To be fulfilled for myself. There's some things I can't do for myself. I can't fuck myself. Like that's somebody laughing. Like, uh, can I go get it somewhere else? Yeah, but there's consequences. I don't want the consequences, right? So my point when I was talking to her was, what is it that you're committing to? And I think that when we're mentoring younger people and they're trying to get into relationships, that they expand and expound on what it is that they're asking, what it is that they're committing to um, beforehand, because it may be different for everybody, right?
Mm.
Some people may really just want exclusivity. They may not necessarily want commitment. Um, I think that's two different things.
And I think there are things that come along with that too, though, right?
Yeah, say that again.
There are things that come along with that too, though, right?
Absolutely. Um,
So what so explain the difference between commitment and exclusivity.
um,
Or was
so
that the comparison? I want
that
to
was
make
a
sure I got it right.
that was a comparison, and I may not fully understand it, but I'll tell you my understanding of it. I'll give my personal understanding of it. The exclusivity says, "Hey, man, it's just me and you trying to do this and figure it out for right now, right? We may have been dating 2 months, right? I only want to date you. You're only gonna date me, right? We're exclusively deciding we're gonna try to ride this out and figure out if we want to do something beyond that. The commitment is we've decided after whatever this period of dating is that, you know what, I want you to be my wife, I want you to be my girlfriend. We're committed to each other to building something as one going forward, right? um, I think the actions that we hear from men and women is everybody don't want to do what's required for the commitment. They
Mm,
think just the staying together is enough, but it's not. There are some
mhm,
things that my woman requires of me, right? That I committed to, right? Um, we may not have talked about it, but I've learned these are things I got to do to keep the car going, maintained, um, because commitment requires relationship maintenance, right? If there's no relationship maintenance, it's gonna fold, just like there's no maintenance to your car. But in the commitment phase, I'm committed to, okay, I got to learn to communicate better. I got to learn to be clear here. Hey, I got to be romantic. I got to be sexual. I got to be sexually available, right? I got to be vulnerable. There are some things I'm committing to sharing and receiving from you. And I'm committed to figuring that out with you, right? All the way around. In exclusivity, that's not necessarily the case. I'm just deciding, right? That I'm just, hey, I know I only want to date you, right? I've told Sheila, Kiki, and all the rest of them, hey, I can't meet you on the 20th, JT. Like, I can't meet you on the 20th.
You CC'd every girl that you had CC'd around town.
I CC'd all of them, baby. Hey, by text, what I'm saying? But that's my understanding of it. Because when I told her, she was like, of course I'm committed. We've been together 3 years. I said, but you're also telling me he's complaining about the same thing he's complained about for 2 years. I'm
Mm.
like, so do you want to be with him? She says, yes. I said, okay, cool. I was like, are you attracted to him? She was like, come on, Cam, that's a no brainer. I said, okay. So the answer is yes. I said, so if you're attracted to him, he wants to have sex with you, you're committed to him. Where's the breakdown?
What she
Where
say? I'm on pins and needles.
She said, well, I just got so much going on. I said, he's part of what's going on. You committed, like, you committed to that, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so, and Yolanda, right? You already know how Yoli gets. And so I said, well, I ain't got answers, but I got questions, right? So
Hey, that's my
I,
line right there.
I ain't got answers, I got questions. And I said, so my take then is, would you care if he got that somewhere else? I
Mm,
said, now keep in mind, he doesn't want it from somewhere else.
right.
He wants it from you.
Right.
She goes, I'd be pissed.
Hmm.
I said, okay. So going into, I told you there was some levity here, right? So that takes me to my second thing, and this is what I asked her, and this is my talking point for all of us, or our discussion point for each
Okay.
of us, was commitment, punishment.
Mm.
Can they coexist?
Mm.
Because if you're using her example, using that real life example, if you're committed to that man and you're telling me you desire that, you are attracted to that man, he wants to have sex, y'all not having it consistently, you're gonna be mad if he goes to get it from somewhere else.
Mm.
So now that looks like you're punishing me,
Mm.
right? Because as we saw in the clip, I don't feel good. Now I'm looking in the mirror like, man, did I shave right? I got to smell good on. I gained a few lbs. Is that it? You start questioning, But keep in mind, you're doing these questions while you're still being dutiful
Mm.
and committed to the relationship. That is draining, right? And she didn't really have an answer for that. It was almost like she just expected him to just keep doing it until she decides, you know, one day when it's not so much going on.
Wow.
Um, and I just thought that was interesting. It made me kind of ask the question of a lot of brothers, even some women, just kind of that dynamic, because you committed to that. But did y'all have that discussion, or did you just commit to be exclusive, right?
Right.
Right? And now we just trugging along, learning as we go. But I think we got to have that discussion of what am I committing to? What do I want you to commit to? And then are you willing to do it? Right? Right? Hey, I love you. You love me. We should have an active sex life. I may say 7 times a week. You may say 3. We may figure out on average we're at 4. But that's enough for us to be cool, right? Okay, cool. Um, but if you're committed to me and we are physically able and healthy and able, and you're just saying no because there's some other things that you've now done the Tetris model of our relationship that I didn't sign up yet, right? And the Tetris model is you decided to start stacking some stuff that wasn't here beforehand.
Mm.
In some kind of way, it got priority over me,
Mm.
right?
Right. Right.
And at least that's my take on it. So when I hear that clip and we talk about the feeling of inadequacy, lack
Yeah.
of confidence, lack
Yeah.
of swag, um, because unlike when you're dating, if it's not happening, you can just go home. You can just go date somebody else. Hey, I'll just go see him on the 20th. Right? I'm gonna fly over here, be home girl in Atlanta. We gonna get you can but if I see it every day, then it's a reminder every day in my mind that I'm not desired by you.
Right. Right.
Um, so
So
I,
before
I, I
before
go.
before I pass this and tap into JT to get his thoughts on this, I do want to ask a question. Did the conversation of quality come into the conversation with Yolanda? Like, so,
Quality
it's a
of
diff of the sex. So it's a
it never
difference
came up. I can
between.
stop you already. It never came up.
Okay. So let me
Because
add that then. So it's a difference
okay,
between just getting it and what did I heard somebody call it the starfish. It's different from getting this. You getting it and it's a starfish from you are into and there's mutual pleasure seeking going on. So
we call it the is it the hug sex? HUG.
okay, what the
Yeah,
hug stand for?
here you go. Damn, here you go. Yeah,
Here
right, here
you
you go.
go. Here you go.
Here you go. Right.
And it's gotta be hugged in HUZ''D. Here you go.
Yeah,
Damn.
here you go. Here you go. Damn, nigga. Like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want that. You know what I mean? It's not something that goes back to, do you desire me?
Mm,
Right? Because if
right.
you desire me, you're coming for me, right?
Mm.
Damn, you smell good, man. Hey, we get home, we hop in the shower. Hey, I'm gonna put the baby away. You're like, because it can't be that you as a man, you always got to start the car,
Mm.
right? And so years ago, I asked this question of somebody. I said, well, what happens if I never put the key in? So I don't really know if you dig me or not, because you only dig me when I start the car up. We're
Mm.
only moving if I start it up. So if I don't start the car, where are the days where you get in there and I'm in the passenger seat and you started the car? So if you never do that, they said, well, I'm responding. I said, okay, that wouldn't work for me,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I think where we as men, I mean, we're on this, this Skinny Blacks Lounge having these type of discussions where we'll just go a decade ago, these discussions weren't being had.
Right.
Men weren't comfortable expressing it because as we see some of the fallout on social media now, oh, y'all want to be the chicks. You zesty. No, I'm just human. I'm just human. You know what I'm saying? Look,
Right.
I'm just
Right.
a human being. Um, and I want to feel special. I want to feel celebrated. I want to feel desired by the person that I've committed to, who's
And that has
also
no gender.
committed to me.
Yeah, there's no gender,
That's
gender
a
connected there.
that's a human thing, at least
Yeah.
from my perspective.
JT, hop in.
There's a lot there. I'll say a couple things. Number one, there's a difference between effort and true commitment,
Oof.
and I learned
Effort.
that
Mm.
back in the day, and that's just the difference. It's serving breakfast, it's bacon and eggs.
Mm.
The chicken has made an effort, but the pig is truly committed.
For sure.
Very committed. Very committed. Right.
So, when you enter into a relationship, I believe both parties make an effort,
Mm.
but it's becoming more and more rare that both parties are committed.
Mm.
Mm.
The second thing is I grew up in the church. I grew up in the Baptist church, Primitive Baptist. And for all the holidays, everybody came out. Easter, Christmas program, everybody got a good Easter speech.
Mhm.
Everybody wanted to play Mary and Joseph, because that's for the good show.
Mm.
But when it's hot in
Mm.
July on that third Sunday
Mm.
and half the church is empty,
Mm.
there's a lot less quote unquote good Christians in there, huh?
Man, hey, where all the big white hats go? Where they go?
Oh, that's
And
second Sunday in
so
September. Football.
what I'm saying is that from my perspective, that's what being a good man is.
Mm.
You'll get a couple big holidays, some times where you're acknowledged. But most of the time, it's that hot ass Sunday in July
Mm.
where the organ still plays and the church still goes,
Right.
and you passing out them Harrison Ross mortuary fans in that hot ass church, and that one little mangy ass ceiling fan is spinning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's men's choir Sunday, and it's just you don't get the appreciation.
So
Now,
so
wait a minute. Let
go ahead.
me say this, because the third thing you talked about was being wanted and being desired, and to me that's tricky.
Mm.
That's a minefield for men.
Mm.
There's data and there's personal experience. Okay,
Speak on it.
I lean toward data, but for this I'll use personal experience. When my mind and my focus has been on my vision, my task, my duty, whatever I am, and being me, what I am, the desire level for me is increased.
Mm.
And I think sometimes when we get fully committed in relationships, sometimes we lose ourselves.
Right, but go back a second. Go back. You said the desire for you increases from the other person.
Yeah,
The desire for me
that's what I heard.
increases from the other person, but it also increases from other women.
Mhm.
And now this is where data comes into play. Men are more desired by their woman or women when they know other women desire them.
Absolutely.
So it is not a recipe to cheat, but it is actually a cheat code to have your woman desire you, to let her know that other women desire you without her feeling like you stepping out,
Right.
but just saying like, hey, you understand what's over here, right?
Mm.
Right.
You know, I
So
was
it's a good.
having a discussion with a young woman at work, and she's younger than my oldest son, so I'm uncle over there, and she's a beautiful girl, beautiful young woman, and she was like, these guys just want to sleep with me, and I was like, yes. And she was like, what? She was shocked, right? I was like, well, I said, well, it's like sometimes have they slept with you and then they didn't call you? And yeah, I said, well, maybe they figured out that's all you had to offer.
Oh,
I said, you have to present what you have to offer. And what I say on the flip side of that, because just as men, and it is what it is, men, sometimes we got to present what we have to offer. Hey, baby, I'm not stepping out. But if I was the step, there's some steppers that would go with me.
Mhm. Step into the
Women
left.
have the confidence of no matter what, he'll still sleep with me.
Mhm. Mhm. Sure.
When is that shoe on the other foot?
when brothers on their vision sound like what you said.
I'm just offering it up.
Yeah.
I'm just offering it up. I don't know no other way to say it, and we deep off enough in this conversation. We talk like men.
For sure.
Pussy is the least rare it's ever been.
Mhm. Yeah.
And sometimes, as men, because of our commitment to a woman, we place an unnecessary evaluation on what's in between her legs. But it's really a testament to our commitment to her,
Mm.
because we're saying,
Right.
I've committed to only sleeping with you.
Right.
So where else am I supposed to get it from? Right?
Mhm.
But we don't say it like that. It's, oh, baby, why we ain't had no sex? We don't say, hey, I ain't cheating. Who the hell else you want me to sleep with if I ain't sleeping with you?
Right. No, I that's what I agree with you. I wholeheartedly
And all I'm saying is
agree.
sometimes that you got to do a 2025 rap song instead of a 90s R&B song with your woman.
What did I miss? Ah, I got the switch up. I feel you.
And that is with all the love and respect and everything that I got to give in this world. Now, you can only do that if you're a man to stand on what you're supposed to be standing on.
Mm.
Mhm.
Now, if you're not that, this don't apply to you. If it don't apply, let it fly. This ain't for you.
Mhm.
You know, if you gotta put down whatever your video game of choice is,
Right.
this ain't for you.
Right. So
But for this, but what last thing, the most committed, the most dedicated, the most hardworking, the most loyal, some of the best men I've ever known have been put through the ringer.
Mm.
And some of the most ain't shit, disloyal, lying, low down, dirty Negroes I know have been rewarded.
Yes, I got a question on that. So this is confirmation to ask this question because you just said it. You was driving down the street I was on, right? Because we're talking about standing on our square as men, handling our responsibilities, doing what we're supposed to, being committed. What I've heard women that I've dated say, that I've interviewed say, what you see on social media say, I've given my best to my ex, and he wasn't shit. He was, but this. So my thing is, how did the ain't shit dude get their best? Because he never stood on his square. She showed overt desire for that person. So I'm
because desire is not connected to principles. Desire is not connected to morals. Desire is not connected to survival. Desire is not connected to comfort.
I agree.
You know, my first girlfriend in college desired me. We was in the back of a Honda Civic hatchback at the drive-in movie getting it in.
Right.
One leg up, foot hitting the popcorn, whatever.
Right.
That's desire. You know? And when we was in the back of that Civic, we wasn't thinking about nothing long term. You know, when folks start thinking about planning for the future, then other things come into play. You know? And I get it, but there's got to be balance in the force.
So is there just a naturally human desire for another person, particularly the person that's providing, protecting, and showing up for you every day? Or should there be? Or is that
nobody else has?
Providing and protecting have nothing to do with desire.
So which goes to my point. So we'll use the example I used earlier. So if she's not giving it to her man consistently and showing that she desires him in that arena, as a man that stands on his square, what would you advise that man to do?
I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate in my life in many ways, but I'm extremely fortunate in this way. I've only been in one relationship in my life where the woman I was with didn't show outward desire towards me.
That's
the guaranteed thing to get her to show outward desire was for to have another woman or a group of women show me attention.
Facts. I totally agree. So then is it genuine? Do you have
no, it's genuine because what happens is this is human nature. You get comfortable when you think something's always gonna be there. That's one of the reasons as good men, as good fathers, you get neglected because your children don't know a world where you don't show up.
Facts.
When people know a world where other people don't show up for them, they count the people that show up. That same rule applies. If this whole existence for X amount of times and X amount of years, man, that's the rock. He gonna, no matter what, no matter how he feel, he pumping my gas before I go to work. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. Right? No matter how much I act, I'm a Tasmanian devil on Sunday night. Monday morning, his ass at 76, looking like a dump at 5:30 in the morning.
In flip flops.
Yeah, it's flip flops, heels
Like a
ashy.
slide.
Brother, Mr. Singh is waving there in the window. Let me. I'm on pump three. I'm on pump three. You know, because you
Nike
just get
slides and
taken for
black socks.
granted. You
Right,
get taken
right.
for granted.
So that's why
You
I was
know,
going
but
back with the
that's not connected to desire.
right.
So let me say it this way. Maybe because maybe men don't understand. You expect the postman to show up every day to deliver the mail,
Mhm.
but we understand that don't mean he gonna get no pussy.
I mean, is there a connection? Like, do your postman
No,
usually
no,
get?
I mean,
because
I mean,
because
right.
no, no.
I ain't got
When
it
you
yet.
expect, hold up. When you expected to do a job, do the job.
Hold on.
What does
No,
desire have to do with doing a job?
let me hop in there. I'll answer that.
Go ahead.
So,
No. Not for us. Not what we connect. What they connect.
So that's what I'm saying. We haven't figured out what the connection is because on one hand, we're saying stand on our square. On the other hand, we're saying where it's not connected to desire. But if there's some interest from other women and they know your man is one of them and showing that interest, whatever, that's not desire either. That's competition. Oh, women flourish in competition, right? But who always wants to bring the competition? I
I'm
guess
sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. We all play sports, right?
no, I'm not playing no sport in my house.
No, we all play sports. We all coach
Yes.
sports. We all participated.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the championship team without
Mm-hmm.
competition.
Tell you the champion. Well, there's a game.
Tell me, or even without the illusion of competition. Say you had the
Right.
best team in the country. You got to make an enemy. Jordan used to create them. Can you
Hey,
believe what the ball boy said? I'm a dunk on such and such and point at the ball boy. He is 10, nigga.
right.
so let me tap in. Let me add some flavor. Let me
A little
just see this.
seasoning salt. Put some
Little
seasoning salt in
season,
there.
yeah, a little
Right,
cotton
right,
too.
Not
So
too much. You got high blood pressure.
I actually don't, brother. I'm the only
I
one
know
in my
you. I know
family
you
without
don't.
it.
So y'all see this. What I'm saying.
That's the
Before we
joke.
continue,
That's the joke.
no. Before we
This
continue, let me just say this. See,
this
Cam,
is true.
because people don't know this, but I'm saying it all. He used to this skinny black. But he used to be fat. You know what I'm saying? When
I
he was
know.
fat, Rob, and now you can't make high blood pressure jokes and fat jokes. You know, because he all sensitive. Because now he wearing the medium long T-shirt. You know, and you
Tall
can't. You
medium.
know, we proud of you. We proud of you and everything. You know, but I remember when you could beatbox, nigga.
you said you say you had a medium long. The medium
Yeah,
long.
yeah. I caught that. I caught the medium long. That was pretty funny.
Now go ahead, continue with your bullshit.
So
Go ahead.
so what I was saying is, so going back to the commitment part, so it's like, so as we think about the commitment to two people, to each other, to do life together, right?
Right.
And I think the problem comes in when uh, when part of making that commitment, the process of that commitment, there are all these things that are happening, being thoughtful, being kind, a smile, a kiss, some really, in depth and connective sex. I mean, all of that stuff is in the package at the time. It's like, you know what, I will sign up for this long term, and at some point in time, the details and the metrics and the negotiations happen with only one person in the room, where the rules got changed because
Mm,
both people didn't agree to that, right? But they can both agree that in the beginning all that was part of the package. So,
mhm,
but the package changed,
mhm.
and there's oftentimes one person that has no idea how or why, or why that package changed, and didn't want it to.
It- B, I think you tap into something and it brings this up. So because in the beginning, what I'm signing up for is I'm signing up for the fixed rate. I want the
Right.
fixed.
Right.
interest rate, right? Okay, life happens, something happens, some rules change, and now it's an adjustable rate. You was paying $1,000 a month. That's what you signed up for. Then you look up and you're like, man, this thing is $4,700 a month. Like, where did this come from? Right? I know nothing about this. This is a fixed rate. It can't get changed. So now you know what? Something happened. We got to renegotiate the deal. In a relationship, you owe it to your partner that you committed to come and say, you know what? The deal has changed for me. This is why the deal has changed. These are the new parameters of the deal. Do you still want to commit to that? I then get to make the informed decision that, oh, so sex is going to be off the table. It's going to be once a quarter, but none of my stuff is changing over here. I don't want to sign up for that, right? And I think so. We got a communication piece that my needs and wants and desires have changed, right? When they have changed, I owe it to my partner to express that to them. So then we can come to a decision whether we're going to go forward or not. If that's not discussed, then one person is still operating on the fixed rate, one is operating on the adjustable rate, and now we just got confusion consistently. And so I think that's my understanding of what you just said, B.
Well, and let me level set one piece that, in this conversation, I don't want to be lost. So we're using the term sex, and we're using the term desire. And I think what gets lost is that for women, they don't understand what the act is, right? Because in the clip, my man said it ain't about sex. It's about the desire, right? And so what ends up happening is, so all of those things that men connect with being connected happen in all of the things that happen within sex, the desire, that comes out, that happens physically. There's an action connect to. I know what desire feels like, not just looks like or sounds like. I know what it feels like, and the holistic way that it happens during sex. So I want to say that I don't think, I think I know that for the most part, from the example that we've seen and heard, that they don't understand the totality, the holistic nature of what sex means in a relationship.
Well, look, okay. Before we wax too philosophical on this, no, I'm just saying, y'all about to go into the mystic arts on me. You know what I'm saying? I was about to light a candle over here in the living room. There's still sex involved.
Facts.
Okay, I don't want that. Listen, sure. You didn't want yours to be lost. I don't want this to be lost.
Oh, for sure.
No, you can desire all the hell you want, but if we not having sex, then I need to negotiate a nut release rider in my new contract.
the nut release clause. The nut
that's a new rider. That's a contract rider we ain't heard. I like that.
No, and all I'm saying is that I've heard my entire life about how important communication is in relationships. But 70 to 80% of the time, 70% to 80% of the time, when women have said communication is important, it was them just wanting to talk and me listen.
Yes.
But when it came to the part where they had to listen, or you want to talk about talking Chinese calculus to a wino? That's where we was at.
Chinese calculus to a wino. Oh my God.
Let me hit this next one, man. Let me hit this next clip. See what y'all think.
Go ahead.
Chinese calculus to a wino.
Needs or should or is not doing all those three things for a man.
Hold up.
What is it that a woman needs or should or is not doing, all those three things, for a man to be able to open up, like really open?
Women are about themselves. You're about your own emotions. You're about how you land, how you feel. You're not about how we feel. You think you are, but you're not. You know, there's many messages that I read from women, yeah, and their message is all about them. They're wrapped up in them. Yeah, but if you done this, and yeah, but if it was said like, no, but maybe it's not said like that. Maybe it's not done like that. Maybe you're not seeing it in the right perspective. And you know what? Men have a hard time trying to open up to other men. So when a woman comes along with all of this, we definitely ain't gonna open up to you, because you lot think you know everything. You lot think that you are superior in this. You lot think that you can't do nothing wrong or say nothing wrong. So you know what we do? We just shut up. We coil up. We crack on. Why? Because it's easier to do that than try to explain ourselves before we actually even talk about our problem. We have to make you understand before you can overstand. Do you know how exhausting that is? It's exhausting. And that's why we choose not to. And when everybody can start to understand this, or actually say, you know what, this is not a battle, let's find a solution, things can be better. Because everything seems like a battle when it comes to a man. That's the rule.
First of all, my man's enunciation was superb.
I was tripping off the accent. I was like, slavery, some shit. Anyway, keep going.
I don't even know where to start with that, because he threw a couple of lobs there.
I was gonna tell Jay to start. But go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll go ahead. He can start. I'll let him start.
I think that there are words that are misunderstood, misinterpreted. There are words that are abused, and one of the words that is abused is abuse. I think that one of the words that is misinterpreted, or let's do it this way, better play on words, misunderstood, is understanding.
Saw what you did there.
Well played.
I've been in too many conversations where I could see somebody's lips moving before I made my point. So I know right there, you're not listening to understand me. You're listening to respond, and you're already formulating. And once you're formulating, you don't hear me. Your capacity to hear me is limited. I don't know everything about humans, but I haven't met the human that can listen fully and talk fully at the same time. So once you're in that mode, you don't hear me. You don't hear me, you don't digest me. That means you have no chance of understanding me. Now, here's what makes it even more difficult. We run two different operating systems as men and women. So even if you're fully present and I'm fully present, there's a chance we'll miss each other. There's 100% chance we're going to miss each other if we're not fully present. But the key thing that he said in that to me was, you thinking you perfect, and you thinking you right, and you thinking you got all the answers off rip.
Not even listen to another perspective.
Why would the king ever have to listen to his slave?
Ooh. Ooh. That's deep.
I said this last time we talked, Cam. I told Rob, I said, if you look at me as a dysfunctional woman, how could you even hear me? Because the answer is within you. Because all you got to do is make me you, and everything will be right in the world. If you don't recognize that we two different operational systems, we wrong from the beginning. And then, lastly, I'll say this. There's been conversations that I had with the police that have been less incriminating than conversations I had with a woman. Because she cop, the DA, and the judge, and she gonna take that information and she gonna go back and she gonna formulate this, and at some point we gonna be having a conversation. I could have told her, you know, my mama accidentally dropped me, and it was the most horrifying thing. For my mother, and she shared it with me, da 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 da. And then we talking one day, and she don't like what I was, and that's why your mama dropped you when you was little.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
And that's why your head is messed up to this day.
Oh snap!
It's like, goddamn.
Cam, what you got on that?
You know what? I'll be succinct here. I when I listened to what he stated, and what I heard is what I've experienced and observed my entire life. The relationship is presented that it's for her. Until, like I said, probably about a decade ago, it became a lot more spaces like this and manosphere and so forth, where brothers were speaking up. Even we kind of acquiesced to it a little bit. As my oldest brother likes to say this, JT, the woman's going to get 85% of what she wants and how she wants it in the relationship. There's 15% of what the man really want he going to stand on. Case in point, in a lot of homes, the man has a man cave. He has a room, a space that he has to carve out for himself, because the rest of the house is hers, right? It is hers. It is set at her temperature. Like I've never been in none of my homies, the couple's home, and I heard him say, "Oh yeah, man, I picked out those drapes. Yeah, you know, they was fire." No, he didn't. He didn't pick out the carpet, the nothing. He did. It was for her. So over time, the women do believe it's for them. We're going to communicate in my style. We're going to have sex when I want to, when I don't want to. The thermostat is going to be set because, you know, I'm iron deficient. I need it super hot, whatever it is. So what their conversation will come from that place, in that platform, and their ears to hear or lack thereof will come from that place, right? It is about me, right? It is about me. And if you make it about you, man, you're going back. You're zesty, you're soft, you're not a real man, whatever you want to insert in there, and then the man shut down.
Hey, can you imagine driving your car and you hit the brakes and the car don't stop?
Yeah, one pedal, baby. One pedal driving, baby.
That's a scary ass feeling, right?
Scary.
You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying the motherfuckers grinding and squealing, your brakes was bad. You hit that shit and the brakes don't. The line is cut. See, what it is men, is that, yes, when you love your woman and there's love and care.
Mm-hmm.
And when as men, you get both those together, we are in a vulnerable state.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because
Agreed.
we are trained and taught to die for what we love and care for.
Ooh.
So what are drapes in a life or death conversation?
I agree.
And so here, take the damn drapes. I'll be over here in the corner.
Right.
Watch the game.
So JT, did you remember when we first started the conversation? And I said, sometimes as men, we've given so much and reacted in such a way that the baby thinks they don't have no consequences.
No, you 100% right. So the reason why I gave you the analogy is because in my recent interactions with women, I tell them, you the brakes on the car. If I hit the brake pedal and you don't stop, the car's out of control.
Ooh.
But you got to be in tune with me to know when I'm driving this motherfucker and I'm hitting this brake pedal. Oh no, baby, hitting the brakes. Okay, we got to be cool. We will drive this to its 500,000 miles on it, or every 3 years, we're gonna lease a new one and we're gonna keep rolling.
Yes.
But you are the brake pedals. If 85%, which was your number, Cam, isn't enough, then you just selfish. Because here's the fact of the matter. If 85% ain't enough, I want to see everybody's transcript.
Bro, man, listen. Remember,
Because
listen, let me tell you something.
folks ain't been getting 85% of life in their lives.
Until
I've been there.
Excuse me.
Listen, man, there are many true things in life. Multiple things can be true at the same time. I always say two things, but multiple things can be true at the same time. The one planet we live on is actually a multiverse. Nino Brown pouring that champagne bottle is true. A dude down on one knee crying because she's gone is true.
Mm.
And everything in between is too. But do she look at you like Nino? Do she look at you like dude on one knee? Or maybe you can work it to where she sees you as the width, breadth, and depth of the man that you are.
Mm.
But you got to stand and risk the thing that you love and care about walking away to say who you really are.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I have nothing else on. I totally agree with that.
And on that note,
convince two generations, consecutive generations of women that the most important thing that they need to value. Television, the media, you name it, every form of influence has effectively convinced two generations, consecutive generations of women that the most important thing that they need to value is not their children. It's not the family, it's not the marriage, it is indeed their happiness. And the issue with that is that when too many of them do that, they never thought about the consequence of how men would start to move and react and respond to women who clearly showed that the husband, the partner, his feelings, the oath, the commitment, their kids, the marriage, those are all secondary to that. So I'm going to make a statement that me and my wife have talked about it. And and again, people will be shocked at me and her. Nothing I'm saying here is news to her or any of the people who actually know me. I don't think that women are loyal to men.
damn.
Well, they're not loyal to their men. They're loyal to men.
Okay.
Look,
Okay. Speak on the nuance.
Hey, they're loyal to the ex that still shows attention. They will fight you over it. You're like, you know what? I don't want you to really talk to old boy. I think he kind of now all of a sudden the nigga that wasn't shit is all of a sudden the best friend. He's amazing. You need him in your life. Why are we more loyal to him than the current nigga? I don't understand that. But that's not even the driving force of where I'm going. I think women want men around, but they don't want partnership with the men. And if you don't want the partnership with the man, then you're not going to be loyal over the course of it. Hence why 82% of them initiate divorces, initiate breakups. There's not a commitment to that full family, full man dynamic. The commitment is how I feel. And if the commitment is how you feel, man, there's some days that you feel whatever. Now, if you always acted on your feelings, your life will go like this.
Mm.
There has to be something. There has to be a standard. There has to be some barometer where you say, I'm going to be here. This is where I'm living. This is what I'm about. Everything down here is not important. It's this and above. The men tend to be down here for the women. I don't care how they spin it. I don't care what they say. We just love them so much and invested so much and committed so much that we're not going to let our feelings drive us. Hence, in the business that I've been in for 32 years now, I watch men risk their homes, their financial stability, and their kids to say, I want to sign up legally on the dotted line for that woman. Even though I remember we talked about the data earlier, even though I know what the data says is a probability to happen to me, I'm still willing to risk these great grand assets. Um, the women wouldn't do that. In fact, the more the women make their money now, they're going to tell you they're not willing to risk that. I'm not willing to risk my home. I'm not willing to risk my car. I'm not willing to do none of that. They don't believe in us long term from a majority of them standpoint. There are some exceptional women, and if you can get one, hey, you winning. But the majority is not that way, and I see those numbers every day in work.
Man, shout out to my man Ask a Brother podcast. Dude is really insightful, really dope on how he lays things out and presents. And one thing that I loved and what stood out to me in what he said was that women are choosing their feelings over children, over men, over whatever. They're prioritizing their feelings, and men are responding differently. And I think that's where the shakeup, the disharmony, the discord, the disruption, whatever you want to say, is I think the fallout from how men have been responding to that, as you said earlier, Cam, the last 5, at least definitely 5 years. And so you see someone like Kevin Samuels. So like my man, is it Jeff St. James, Jay? That's his name?
Yes.
So my man, he says, Kevin Samuels called himself the Godfather. He feel like he the Godson, right? So and something one of my other guys has said, he said, yo, I don't like Kevin Samuels because he's not taking it or looking at perspectives of that's connected to healing. Like you're presenting the problem, you're presenting the situation, you're presenting all the issues, but now what's the solution? How do we heal and move forward? In service of our Black families, which are connected to our Black communities, which connect to our Black nation, which this Black family starts with the Black family, starts with the Black relationship,
right?
And so I think this cat is on to something to where he has expanded the conversations to where it's moving forward in a way to where there's more opportunities for connection, more opportunities for dialogue, more real dialogues, and more opportunity for healing. So I like how he laid out how men have responded has created something else. Go ahead, Jay.
We talked earlier, I mentioned earlier about communication. And I've been in situations where women have said to me, oh, you want to have an honest conversation? So one of the things that personally, again, separating data from personal, one of the things that women have an issue with me is that I can say something in analysis that they can only say in anger. And so when they hear from me, they hear anger. When for me, it's just the analysis of the situation or analysis of something that's in front of me.
Right.
Right? Because they have not been willing to even entertain my computing system. So when we respond how we respond, we're not understood.
Mm.
Let's just say hypothetically we respond in anger. When they respond in anger, they will give you all the reasons why it was justified that they did and
Justified.
what they were feeling and what did. If we responded in true male anger, it wouldn't be a discussion.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because true male anger is not talking.
Right.
So us talking is tempered. It
Yeah.
is restrained.
Yes.
But you're so used to BS that you fight, push back, and just don't want to deal with the real.
Mm.
The liars when they're found out are quote unquote hated, but they're quoted in the next conversation.
Real
A
talk.
lot of our women are carrying Confederate flags.
Man, listen.
Say that one. Speak on that one. Speak on that one.
You know, they were cowards that lost the war. But a lot of our women is playing old Dixie. They can't stand that last dude. He lied, he cheated, he did this, he did that. But when you tell them the real, that's not what I'm used to. So what you want me to do is lie to you like the last dude did and then break your heart at the end.
Oof.
Because that's comfortable pain. And what you're saying to me is that you just want to stay in the same paradigm and you want to stay in the same box. You're not ready to really get out. You just want to have your 17th annual breakup party next year.
Not the 17th annual.
And I'm okay with that. Like I want everybody to live their life and do their thing. But don't be mad at the person that's calling balls and strikes.
Mm.
I'll share a story, and folks will remain nameless because I love them. I was having a conversation with a family member, and she actually asked me for some advice. She was asking about her husband, and he worked full time. He had started another business, and they have kids. They have 4 kids, and she was like, you know, he's working so much and this and that. And I was like, okay. And I had talked to him also, and I said, well, I said, why is he working so much? You know why? She said, well, yeah, he wants to for us to have a house for the kids because we're in an apartment, and then for the business we need a backyard. Yeah, he's working hard for your family, for you. And then she was like, yeah, I know that, but still, I said, wait a minute. And then he comes home and the kids not asleep. I said, wait a minute, hold on. He working a couple jobs, this and that. You at home, right? Yeah. Well, why the kids not asleep? You run the house.
Mm.
So he's supposed to do that and put the kids. And then she was like, yeah, and I was going to start a business. And he bought supplies. He said he would market it for me. I said, well, how much of it have you? Well, I haven't started yet. I said, okay, so you ain't started the business. You ain't started bedtime. But you well into starting complaining.
Bedtime.
Now, wait a minute. During this conversation, someone else in my family, a woman, was like, don't listen to him. And I looked at her and I said, I'm not, again, I ain't gonna say no names, I ain't gonna say who. I said, I love this person dearly, this woman dearly, but she ain't got no husband. I said, so you got one, who you want to take advice from? A man or a woman?
With no husband.
Fast forward 2 years later, that man worked, the business grew, He built a house from the ground up for his family, and they're happily married.
Mm.
I'm not saying I'm always right. I was just right in that situation because I just recognize a hardworking brother.
Mm.
His heart wasn't in running the streets and doing this and doing that. His heart is in taking care of his family.
Mm.
And I'm just pointing to the character. It's like, you made the right decision in who you married. I'm just reinforcing to her what she already knew.
Right.
But here's the thing. When I talked earlier about the weatherman, who we going to talk to?
That part.
How many of our young ladies are going to talk to their mamas who are failures in terms of relationships with men? But they can't be honest about who their mama is.
See, that's real. That's real.
Your mother is not wise counsel. You ain't going to talk to Yoda. You going to talk to Darth Vader, nigga. Your mom, you think your mama got asthma? That's the black man she just took off.
Hey, you are not wise counsel.
Hey, you said something, Jay. And I'm gonna connect this back to what Jeff said on the clip. The elevation of feelings over everything else. And the main thing that feelings get elevated over is being accountable to the best version of themselves. That part right there is, I think, it gets lost in the shuffle and gets lost in the midst, because if you are working and striving to be the best version of yourself, then your feelings take a back seat to the goal, to the vision. That doesn't seem like that's happening. So let me hit this next one.
Can take care of you and manage the home completely, you need to accept. If you choose a working woman, you have to accept that she can't handle the house full time. If you choose a housewife who can take care of you and manage the home completely, you need to accept that she doesn't make money. If you choose a submissive woman, you must accept that she depends on you. If you choose to be with a brave woman, you must accept that she is tough and has thoughts of her own. If you choose a beautiful woman, you have to accept that she has expenses too. If you choose to be with a great woman, you must accept that she is tough and firm. No woman is perfect. A woman has her own good thing that defines who she is and makes her unique.
When I was listening to this and deciding whether or not wanted us to unpack this one, the thing that stands out to me is that, because I flipped it and said, okay, I thought of it as men and who we are, and the holistic way and the different versions of who we can be, and what's the give and take of that, right? So for instance, like Jay, like what you're good at, your superpower, and how you chose to express that is in an industry, man, where you work a ton. Right? So there's a give and take in that. If you want that type of dude, you got to understand that there's some give and take on this man's time, because this man's time is a chunk of it somewhere else that's non-negotiable for the most part, right? And so that was just one example. So I thought about that as I thought about and watched this clip about, if you choose this type of woman, you got to expect this, right? The issue that I had with, as I heard it, and not an issue with the clip, is just in general, as we think about relationships and we think about conversations that we've all had, we think about the data and the personal pieces. And this is not data. This is based on our anecdotal pieces, and I bet each one of us has this, where that clip talked about the gives and takes of this type of woman, then you can't expect X. Or
Hold
if
on,
it's this type, go ahead. Let me finish the thought before you go. Let me finish the thought.
Go ahead,
I'm
'cause
landing the plane.
my thought ain't gonna have nothing to do with yours. So go ahead.
So bottom line is they think they can do it all. They think they can be all. They got a song called "I'm Every Woman." You know, so,
It's a lot of
anyway.
anthems. Every country got an anthem, but ain't a lot of one wars.
Go ahead.
Before we get into the serious part of this discussion, have you ever thought this is just a little fun thought experiment. Have you ever thought about like actually saying to a woman you don't fulfill what you really think you good at? You're not a solid hoe. You ever call somebody over at 2 a.m. and now they want to read Leviticus? If you don't, you are not Mary Magdalene. If you don't get your ass, I had a woman say to me that she was an expert at arching her back for doggy style.
Interesting.
All right.
And then
she was an expert.
And then we had sex.
She was on Junior Varsity.
And I was like, you a 3 a.m. infomercial.
Miss Cleo.
And for $9.99 more, you get the third set of lights.
She sell you some blue blockers.
I was like, you know what?
Sold a bill of goods, man.
We're gonna go back to what you intro. I'm gonna say this last thing. I had a conversation. This is real. All jokes aside, I had a conversation with a woman, and we were talking about. I actually had it twice, weirdly enough, and we were talking about women being good at sex. And I told one something different than I told the other. The honest conversation, the more honest conversation I should say that I had, is that your grade isn't good, it's functional.
Damn.
I said because most of y'all won't give enough of yourself to be good at sex.
Ooh. Wow, you set a bar right there.
It's a hell of a bar. But also the performative piece of that, they've always laid at our feet. So they've never even had to go to training camp to become good.
That's why they're
now what that said though, if she been to training camp, she a pro. And I'm just saying. I don't know if you want to sign that contract.
No, listen. Everybody that go to training camp don't become a pro, but you can become better.
Yes.
You can at least study.
You know what? This is gonna be a side street, but the older I get, the more I understand the old school philosophy of, and this is not just sexually, this is everything, of having your experiences together as you grow. Because the flower is blossoming at the same time on these things. Like yes, we grow at different paces and different, but when we have a child, this is our child together. This is like our first child is our first child. You know, there's certain things that happen that are milestones. And when you experience them together, then the only frame of reference of having that experience is right next to you.
Right. And that's powerful.
And that's powerful, and that draws you together if it's done well. You know, I've told specifically the young ladies in my family, because young ladies outside of my family don't listen for the most part. We have lost the value of building things together. The loyalty that you get, the loyalty you get out of a man when you build it with him, and they be like, well, if he leave you, this is that. I said, the actual story is that y'all built it together. The man worked hard, and he died 10 to 20 years before grandma. That happened 90+% of the time.
True.
The couple dudes that bounce is the fairy tale that's told. But the real deal is, it wasn't like some Hollywood romance thing. It was hard work and a grind, but they were in it together, and she got the house. And on Mother's Day, we all showed up and praised grandma, and maybe it was a little 8x10 of granddaddy on the mantle.
Maybe. That's a maybe.
Maybe. But he busted his ass and sucked up asbestos and died to pay the mortgage.
True. That goes to our point when we was talking about earlier. You know, very few people are going to grandpa's house. They're going to their nana's, grandma, his old lady's house. Very
Big
rarely
mama.
do they say it's Big Mama's house.
But hold on, Cam. But if we could resurrect granddaddy, he would say it more times than not. He would say it was my honor and my sacrifice.
Yeah.
For my
Absolutely.
family to do that. Now, what they
Absolutely.
would say is, oh, he had a family across town. And I would ask, what about your light-skinned third brother?
Which happened a lot
when
too.
daddy went to war.
Oh, first of all, I live it. So
No, I'm just saying, like, your whole family look like Wesley Snipes, but you got one brother that look like El DeBarge, and we gonna act like we gonna act like your mama didn't do that.
Right.
No, and what I'm saying is that I just want it to be balanced in the force. I'm not judging nobody for doing nothing. I'm saying we all human. We all mess around. We all do different shit, right? But they had a social contract that they signed and that they honored. So my question is I bring it all the way back around. In 2025, what's our social contract?
Oof. Great question.
Because in 1965 and in 1975, the social contract was clear.
right. And let me.
I'm saying there's no clarity right now.
I'm gonna say
I
not
agree.
75. That's when my
Look.
mom left my dad.
Look,
But go ahead, Cam.
I agree.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I was born in 75. I knew I messed up when I said it. But thanks for calling me out, nigga.
There's definitely no clarity on the social contract. And I can, based on the data, that is trending toward getting worse and not having clarity in agreement, right? In some form of congruency in that department between men and women. Because I'm noticing that better, when I say better, I'm just talking in terms of working and making them some money, the better our women are doing in that department, they feel the need to basically tell us they don't need us. I'm not even sure they want the social contract, because there's too much of I don't need you. What can he do for me? In there, so even the ones who some kind of way migrate to each other, right? There's still what is that contract? Even for the ones who migrate to each other, because there's a lot of I got mine, you got yours. What do we really want? Going back, what do we really want to commit to with one another? I'm thinking that what I want to commit to as a man, and even what I need you to commit to as a woman, I'm not sure they got that same look operating system. So since they don't have that same operating system, I need them to tell me what it is that they want me to commit to, but what they're willing to commit to as well. Now we come together and say, okay, now what are we? Now that we have that understanding on both of those ranges, what are we gonna do? What is our contract? Hey, and is it a fixable rate? Fixed rate? Is it a fixed rate or an adjustable rate?
I'm
And are we,
gonna add
Hey
another
man,
question.
hey no, he
What?
crazy because hey man, I got a joke I told about my.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna say it about
but
my son's mother about fixed rate versus adjustable rate. That is right on time because you said it
yeah,
twice. But
man, listen.
I might
And do
say
you
it
what?
again.
And do
But
you
what I
have
will
the
offer,
go ahead?
is there's no such thing as a 5-star buffet restaurant.
No, there's not.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
I totally
And
agree.
we in this situation where women think they can pick and choose and still be 5-star.
Mm.
Mhm.
I've seen too many episodes and sat in too many restaurants, but even if you just watch TV and watch Gordon Ramsay, when he pares the menu down to one page, no, you're not gonna get to this. You're
Mhm.
not gonna get this.
Right.
We gonna specialize in these 10,
Right.
and we gonna make it a great experience.
Mm.
But you think you can go and get 1,000 things on the menu at any time and say, I want these 5 today, and it's gonna be spectacular.
Mm.
The more you spread somebody out, the less effective they're gonna be.
Yeah, do you
So
remember
One
the
thing.
you remember the Martin episode where he opened the restaurant? Y'all remember that one? He opened the restaurant. They end up messing it all up with
Of
rent
course.
spoons and all type of stuff, right? And what JT is saying, bro, can you imagine opening a chicken and waffles and the woman coming in and mad because you ain't got liver and pancakes
Or pizza.
consistently or pizza on the menu? It would like we're not even on the same. Once again, we haven't had the right understanding of what it is each other provides, wants, and needs. But I think you can make an argument that one party does not care, and I
Well,
think
let me add this question because I was gonna add this question to your last statement about commitment, and I think the real question is what are we ultimately committing to in order to do what, right? Are we committing to
mm,
build legacy? Are we committing to build a family? Are we and let's color that in, right? Those would be the outlines, and let's color that in. What are the other things? How are we gonna get there, right? And so
mhm,
I think it's we're folk are committing to the means and not committing to the end, right? So when the
mm,
means get accomplished, right? So then where do we go from here, right? So if the for the kids out there, for the younger folk out there who shouldn't be listening to this, but if you committing to going to college and you get in, then now what? Right? You haven't committed to something that college puts you on the or is in the path of. Same thing with the relationship. Are we committing to the legacy? Are we
maintenance. I say the
committing
maintenance.
to making something? Are we committing to a larger vision of that both of us can have roles and parts in? And if that's not the case, if that hasn't been on the table, and I'll put that on our legs, I'll put that on our shoulders, I'll put that on our feet.
Hmm.
If we haven't said that or put that out there as part of that negotiation in the beginning, as part of the conversations in the beginning, as part of your vetting, then
Hmm.
that's on us.
Right. I'm with that, and I gotta get ready to exit because the little one's coming out. They gave me an
All
hour
right,
and a half. So
cool.
yeah.
I need to roll too. We going, but before we roll, I do want to say this before I go. Hey, women are not romantic and they're not thoughtful. When it comes
Hey, we
never
will
had
tap
been,
in.
never had to be, right? Never
Right,
had to
right,
be.
right.
So there's it makes sense. But I do want to say thank you, gentlemen, for this conversation. Hey, we've been rocking and rolling. Thank you, Cam, rocking in with
Yes,
Cam's
sir.
corner on the relationship tip questions. Thank you, JT, as always. The period is silent, but you ain't, and you be coming with it, brother.
Cam, hey, don't put this on your Facebook, Cam.
It's coming, baby. It's coming. It's coming, man.
They go, whew, gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
So once again, I want to say a big shout out to my man Dio Amiri behind the boards and the ones and twos for hooking us up, for putting this all together, doing all the edits and all the technical stuff that we can't do. Big ups to you. Big ups to, hey, as always, the Gathering Spot LA. Want to give them a big shout out. Big ups to Tally and Twine watches. I'm wearing that Tuskegee Airman joint today, so you can't see it on the thing, but it's pretty fly. There'll be a link down there so you can support Tally and Twine and you can support the show because we're affiliates now. And just want to say big ups to everybody who tuned in, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Even as you watch this, put in comments. We check the comments as it goes live or as we repost. So thank you. And so as we go out, I give the last words to y'all. JT, what's your last word?
I got one other little quick thought. There's some people these days call it context, right? But I call it like almost an unsigned contract. And I'll do this for Cam because he is Mr. Jim's in the gym, the basketball guy, and I grew up a lifelong Laker fan. And I was, no offense to Shaq and Kobe, but I'm a Magic and Kareem and Worthy Laker fan.
Yes.
I think that's the greatest era in basketball. And one of the most disappointing series was the '89 loss to the Pistons. And if you just look in the books, if you Google it right now, it says Pistons 4, Lakers 1. And what they won't show you is the starting backcourt of the Lakers pulled their hamstrings, Byron Scott and Magic Johnson. And that's part of the major reason why they lost. It's what's in the unsigned contract. That's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And many of us have unsigned contracts. I was talking. I mentioned my uncle a couple times today. I'm gonna end it with him because he raised me, and he used to take me on all the family things. We used to go miniature golfing, and he told me he was undefeated in miniature golfing. And I told him, I said, I never saw the score until after it was over. It don't matter if you started out hot. It don't matter what happened. When it was all said and done, he was like, I won. I was like, well, I guess you did. You paid for all this shit. And it's cool, because the unsigned contract was like, I'm riding on the bus. Right? And what I'll say to this is that as men, I think we have a greater understanding these days of the unsigned contract, whereas it used to be a time when we both as men and women understood what the unsigned contract is. And so since we can't understand the unsigned contract, I think moving forward, all these things need to be negotiated up front. And that's my last word.
Yes.
Hey, Cam, you got the last word.
Yeah, that goes into.
You can play baseball.
That goes into my last word. So it's a perfect segue. Don't be afraid to renegotiate the deal. All right, do not be afraid to renegotiate the deal. To be able to be willing to bring forth the original contract, your understanding of the contract, to bring it forth to the other party and say, hey, this is currently what we signed. This is where we currently are. This is where I want us to go. This is what's required for us to get there. Are you willing to pivot and let's do this? And then they give their variables and things and requirements, and you see how you can rock, but be willing, as JT pointed out earlier, be willing to be okay with whatever answer comes.
Yeah.
And that's my word to us as men. I'm not sure we're always willing to deal with whatever answer comes.
Or to stand on your square.
To stand on your square. So be willing. Don't be afraid to renegotiate the deal. That's my last word.
And there it is. Thank you, gentlemen. We out.
Peace.